Hey everybody, Sarasota Tim. All right, this is the first clip of the new work day on Saturday. Just showing you Ted and Jolene's new Chevy truck they're so happy with. What do you got here? What is that? Oh, opening there. But anyway, they just came back from a nice drive, gassed it up. Probably good for a few months for them. Anyway, I'm putting my gloves on, and they went to Lowe's and bought some boards that we need and use.
Oh, okay. Okay.
We always want to watch our tree, and on the construction site here, don't step on the tree. And Teddy's back here blowing something.
Blowing all the dust out.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Our first stage is cover this up.
With the heavy plywood, and then on top we have the hardy boy. It look like brand new when we're done, and it won't rot anymore.
All right.
Because we don't let any water on it. That's what was happening from the roof. It's coming down, and the planks were so close that it kept the water going in there.
Some have speculated that this is termites. Is it termites or just water?
I'll be a connection of both.
Uh-huh.
They liked it the way it was.
But it looks a lot cleaner since you blew it out.
Well, yeah, but it's not beautiful. But if this is okay, the structure will be okay.
Yeah, it'll be good when we get done with what we're doing. And then
We'll all be gone before it gets problem.
exactly. It's outlived us so far. Been around longer than we've been around. I asked you that. So how do you like this new truck?
We didn't buy a Toyota.
Is that a shot?
What does that have to do with my truck? I'm very happy with it. It's tight, it handles well, everything is perfect on it. Really nice.
Well, I'm glad you got it. It worked out better than the one that you were contemplating, or actually a couple of you were looking at, but this is the one you decided on? This is what you got?
Well, why it was, there's so many advertised, and a lot of people just don't call you back. And
Yeah.
I called this yesterday morning. Jolene got this guy, and it was a different truck, but he had a lot when we went down there in the Lauderdale area. He had maybe 25 of them. So we could look through and find what we wanted. And for the price and the value and the design, it was perfect for us.
Good.
And we even traded in the old Mini Cooper too, so it brought the price down.
Yeah.
And the thing was, you have to go through so many people that might want the Mini Cooper, but the difference in maybe getting the money from the people privately to what they gave us was not that much, and waiting for aggravation and everything else, this was done.
That's a very good point. Not to mention what you did save in the tax, which
true.
is like getting more money for it as well.
The snafu was insurance on it, because all our vehicles are insured by the vintage car company called Haggerty, in case you guys want to know. You have to have a main driver. But let's say you got an older car from the 80s or 70s or hot rod, you can insure it with Haggerty. And all the other cars together only come to like $100,000, 5 cars, with maximum coverage, 0 deductible.
Wow.
But they wouldn't do it on a 211 pickup truck because it's not a rare car.
Right.
And it's a little too new for them. So we had to shop around. And the first place we shopped was Geico, then State Farm. And Geico, we had a young guy on the phone. He wanted close to $3,000 a year to insure that truck.
That is insane.
I didn't use foul language to him. But yeah, could you imagine paying that much money for a truck that's only worth $15,000, you know? So,
No kidding.
yeah. So we chopped around, and what we decided to do, we had the registration on a Mini Cooper, she did, from upstate New York. And I thought it'd be cheaper in Florida, but we got a Geico again, but we've got a more senior citizen in there, you know, someone who knows what's going on. And we got money back on her Mini Cooper insurance, 17 cents. He laughed at it too, till October. So we're going to run New York plates. I happen to like the Florida plates, a little more colorful. But maybe we can get a specialty plate that's not expensive in New York.
Yeah.
So we'll have...
Well, you're fortunate to have a residency in either state you choose, so you can work out the best deal for insurance and registrations and things.
The only thing in New York, where I'm from originally, New York City is very strict with emissions and quality of the car. The city. but where we're located upstate New York in the country, the safety inspection is a horn, take a look at the tires and the brakes and blink the lights. But you do require that every year. So I know we're not going to drive this thing back and forth all the time, but I think we'll be just fine with the inspection this year.
They actually used to have that in Florida years
I know
ago.
they had a rollers in the floor to test the rear brakes, the front brakes.
Yeah.
And you put the brakes on them.
And in Georgia, they do what they call a smog test. I think they do the same thing in California
Oh yeah.
to check to make sure you're not polluting the air. So
Well,
yeah,
most of the new cars are pretty good, the new cars. But yeah, we had in the city of New York, we have, I'm not in the city anymore. You had a pollution control to stick it in the tailpipe,
yep.
but these new cars, they're pretty good over the last 10 years as far as polluting the air,
Yeah, that's
So
right.
here we are. We drove it today. We're very excited about it. Picked up some hardy board,
Yeah.
which is a cement board which will go over the plywood and seal this thing up and nice looking. So there we go. What were we going to say yesterday? When the student is ready, the teacher will appear. Tim,
What was it?
that's what I wanted to say. When the student is ready,
The teacher will appear.
Tim, you're the student.
Oh yeah, I'm the
When
student.
Tim's ready to learn.
Yeah, I'm ready to learn.
We'll get going. He's doing a great job, by the way, all you viewers. I mean, he can do it. You just show him once and he does it. So he's good to have around. But
Now you're on the rails. Come on, keep going, keep going.
that's not that unreasonable. Yes, and last night he waited for us to come back from Lauderdale. We didn't get back till 7:38, and he had some fantastic. What kind of burgers? Prime burgers, and he has this little tin grill, which he's a chef on that thing. They came out perfect. I must admit, they were good.
He
So-
hasn't stopped raving about the prime rib burgers. Everybody liked them. Luke had some.
Well-
Chris had one.
It's the way you cooked it too. You didn't turn into a black hockey puck,
Yeah.
So anyhow, do you want to do some work, or you just want to hold on to your camera?
Yeah, I think I'll just do some work now.
So if we had music on here like Rod Stewart, you couldn't film it, right?
Couldn't film it, but it'll keep me working better. We can turn that off when we get ready to video again. So let's get the music going and get cracking at it. All right, scene 2. I took a little break to our outdoor restroom over here, TMI, but I wanted to show you, this is all the wood decking that's been built around the entire house. And so some of it just over the time got rotten. These are some good boards here. And I'm walking around the upper deck here. We've got closed off because these were the older ones right in here. So we've already nailed up all that fascia. We've got the, what do we call it, the hardy board. But you can see right behind Teddy and Jolene's head, that whole big wide, we just have that one space to fill in now. And we've all played with the nail gun and held up these pre-cut pieces of plywood that we cut a day or two ago. And they fit in there like a glove. They went in there so perfect. There's Mr. Chris. Say hi to the community, Chris.
How y'all doing?
So anyway, look at that, right on the bottom of that board, perfectly measured and cut, and it is in there so solid. Like I said, we're gonna get the hardy board on. This is our new piece we're gonna measure, I guess. So I gotta help Miss Jolene out with the pencil. Put the camera down. So Miss Jolene goes and gets the, what are we gonna do, a chalk line or just a magic marker and a straight edge?
Yeah.
Oh, that's what we're gonna do right here. And she's gonna rip this piece. But I wanted to show you guys, what am I wearing? Safety glasses, even blocked all the way around, tinted. These are the ones the doctor gave me for my eyes. So I read your comments. I got skills. All right, next clip is, we trust the engineer here to cut a straight line for us to fill in this last spot.
Try it one more time. Good.
All right. Pretty straight cut there, Mr. Ted.
Not bad.
All right, everybody, another clip for you. We got the Hardy board here, and we're putting screws in rather than using the nail gun. And this has been pretty exciting. What was exciting is breaking this Hardy board in half. You have to score it, and then you bend it. And the guy instructed them, when you score it, the same side you score it, you actually pull it up that way rather than flipping it over and bending it to break it. But you don't want to use a circular saw.
Just a carpet knife.
I'll put mine right here. Now I'll show you what we're doing.
You want,
We have one
it
piece
on
up
the other
already.
side?
You can see how nice this is coming together.
Timmy, we'll hold this up for you and then you put the screw in.
Oh, who's gonna hold the video?
Yeah.
Just kidding. All right, we'll come back. We'll come back. What we're going to do is we're going to put this up and hang it like that one right there. All right, so they've got the board up.
That's good. Now we got to do this side.
We wanted it kind of close.
Right in here. Right next to it on the other side.
We grab a couple screws.
Have you got Tim in full view here?
Yes.
Get this up, wait a minute, coming down.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, anything along here now. Anywhere. No, it's gotta be lower. See where the board is? Oh, that's going nowhere now.
All right,
Excellent.
so that's how we do it. We're putting in these little screws right here with the gun. These are star ends, and just like the nail gun, this isn't going anywhere.
Okay.
Built by Baker. So there you go. We got a little bit more to go. Looking good. You're doing the decking maybe later today, some of it, or tomorrow. I'm to have dinner tomorrow with a couple of subscribers, John and Carol, live over here close by. Gonna go see them and see what they're doing over here on scoring this board. I'll show you actually how we break it. After a couple of times of worrying about shattering it, now we see how to do it.
Are we crushing it, Tim?
Yeah, we're crushing it.
Okay, you can push it down.
So we were thinking after scoring it, you flip it over, but actually we were instructed just to bend it up. And that's exactly the way it works best.
Okay, keep going.
Eddie's really scoring it.
Yep. You want a good score, huh?
This is definitely a three-person job.
Well, it doesn't have to be, but
We couldn't do it without you, Teddy. You know what that means? Couldn't do it without
it
me
ain't the
either.
same without, it ain't the same without you. He's using my own ammunition.
I got skills.
And what is it? Yappity yappity do?
I'm adding to them. You're teaching me.
You better come back when we do the other part of the house.
I will. I don't mind building my own house. Oh, that's your house. All right, watch how we break this.
lift up?
Here.
Yeah. Hang on.
Is it, should I have taken the tag off? Maybe the tag,
I don't think the tag's gonna hold it. Whoops.
oh, sorry, Ted.
We were thinking this tape tag on here was preventing some of the,
The bend.
yeah.
Maybe not.
Got it?
Yeah.
All right, so,
You want to hold that while you do
yeah,
it?
you do that. You gotta back out pretty good so you can get us.
Let me get you. Hang on.
Oh, do you want me to do?
Yeah, we're gonna do it. You ready? You come this way?
Yeah.
Watch this.
Success.
And it comes right off. But it's not easy no matter how much you score it. It's still kind of hard. All right, everybody. While I'm thinking about it, I did read a comment that somebody asked,
Want to measure this one?
and
Yeah.
I wanted to ask Ted for you guys. Some of you might be interested as well, but somebody commented and wanted me to ask Teddy how he raised the house. What is it? How many feet? Well, tell us about it.
Oh, 5, 6 feet maybe. Enough to get under it, yeah. But we had to do it because the whole house was longer than it is now. It was 160 feet long, and we had about a 35 long foot a living room in the middle. It was 36 by 30, the living room, and it had 12-foot ceilings, but it was off 18 inches. In other words, if you walked from the kitchen to the bedroom, it was off by 18 inches. That's quite a bit, you know. So anyhow, I cut the place in half, got rid of the other half. And then when we got over to this part, we had to raise it because I wanted to keep it. And this here was down in there. Now, see that over there? That's the old foundation, that mess. Okay? So in the short version, I put in these poles. Can you see them? See these posts? They go down about 10 feet, I guess. I don't know. I put these 2 posts in here, hooked them together, made a nice plinth for it, and I went all along every 10 feet. Then after that was settled, they go all the way down there, every 10 feet. So some were 12 because we had to do it that way. And then I had to get these logs, which are saltwater pilings. And they weigh maybe 16 to 2,000 pounds a piece each. They're pretty heavy, and they're 35 feet long. This is the kind of post we use in the saltwater to tie boats up to. So when I got them now, don't forget, the floor of the house, this here, was down there. So I had to get those things underneath one way or the other, which I did with some help, and we pull them across. Once they are under there, and the trick was to get them also between these 2 posts, because this is what stabilizes it. It's like a tuning fork, right? So, you know, like that. So once that was in between those 2, got 3 of us, and I had a cement base on the bottom, and we jacked it up with big bottle jacks. With 3 of us sat under here, got it up a few inches at a time, then we went down to a few more inches at a time, all the way down the other end, and start all over again. So you're slowly bringing the house up. But before that, I had to make a main beam in the center of the house. It didn't have that main beam when I got the place. So it's already in the center of the house. What you're looking at is this, that's it right up on top. That's it, that big one, yeah. That one there, I built under the house as it was, as I got it up high enough to get under the house. All right? Because don't forget, this thing was down there. So we had to get the beams underneath it. It was a bit of a task. And then once it's underneath it, and then we can just jack up on the pilings like that. And it sounds, well, it wasn't easy, but we did it. And then I did all the cross bracing and stuff like that.
To actually get it to the height you wanted,
Then I put the cross bracing in.
and what length of time? Months, weeks?
Oh, who knows? It probably took the whole winter to do it.
Oh, okay.
You know, I still lived in Queens. I had my homes up there, even my little shop up there, and I'd come down here and play with this place.
Right.
But the whole idea is when I was looking for Florida property, on the water side only, and only on the East Coast, not the West. West is nice, but it's not like this one. And I didn't want to buy some property or other things like that and have to stay in a motel or some other place, rent a place while I worked on this thing. So that's why I patched it up, the whole thing, and I had a place to stay.
You lived in it while you worked on it.
Oh yeah, it was perfect that way. Plus I got to know the yard. So working on the place and stabilizing it was fun, you know. I was younger and dumber, and we got it all up in the air and stabilized it and added more reinforcements to the old place. It wasn't as strong as it is now, the original. And somewhere in the 30s, it got blown away from here. The hurricane was down on Federal Highway. The whole place, they brought it back and they put I-beams under it. And I sold those. They were massive. I took them out from underneath, got rid of those. And then we started doing this with pressure-treated southern yellow pine, which is pretty strong stuff. And
It was a few years, wasn't it, between you living in it when it was Swiss cheese and working on it and dabbling with it when you came down to actually making it livable. Wasn't that a few years?
yeah, everything took time because I still had my place up in New York.
Yeah.
And so we come down, we had a nice place to stay. Well, relatively nice. And it was fine to be here. I instantly, within a couple of weeks of moving here, a couple of months, I had all the bedrooms filled and rented like that.
Yep.
People didn't mind living in this rustic area, you know, they kind of
Absolutely.
So that,
Paradise.
That helped pay the initial mortgage I took out with the owners because it was a time when the banks were all upside down and you couldn't get a loan, couldn't get anything. If she wanted to sell it, she would have to subordinate the mortgage, which we did. I gave her a whole bunch of money down on the property, and then we came up to an agreement how much to pay, which I did every month until I got to a certain point and said, okay, I'm done, I paid it off.
Yeah.
I mean, it all sounds like we did it in 2 weeks here, but it didn't take 2 weeks.
No.
But having the rooms rented out even back then really helped pay the bills
Sure did.
without using money from New York. The whole place paid for itself.
What about when I came and had tents and stayed? What about the rent I gave you?
Yeah, the highlight of my life. The best part about having Timmy here is that day he takes off. Man,
It's like having a boat. The day you get it, the best day, and
Yep.
the day you sell it.
well, here we are now, and he's helping very good. He learns fast, and the more he learns, the more I can use him here, you know. And he made some outrageous hamburgers last night. Very good, perfect job on a little simple grill.
Yeah,
So,
appreciate it.
he's
Yeah, we
good.
enjoyed them.
He's going to stuff like that. And then trust Jolene is way over the top.
Oh, yeah.
What she can
Yeah.
do. you
Gave
know.
her a little break since you guys were coming in late last night from buying your beautiful truck, which I'm sure everybody's going to tell you how much they like it. And now,
We're happy with it.
I would like to turn the camera around. Hang on. And so while it's fresh on my mind, I wanted to add a little bit to what he was saying. When he came down and he was building on this place, and it was, like I said, living in Swiss cheese, there were no windows, there was no doors. It was actually studded. It was just,
Well, no,
no-
I did
no-
that.
huh?
I stripped the walls down myself.
yeah, there was no drywall, or it was just, you could walk through it.
They didn't use drywall and they used cement, plaster,
Oh, yeah.
to get rid of all of that stuff. And
Yeah.
the reason why I put the deck around the house was so that I could put the hurricane windows in. You had to have something to stand on. So we built the whole deck around the place, and then I could put the windows in.
Well, what I wanted to say is, back in those days when I first made his acquaintance, I couldn't believe it. He was living in here. He just threw a mattress like over a pile of product that he was going to eventually build in there, window frames and stuff. And it just threw a mattress over. He'd lay down at night. I mean, he was a rounder, man. We both used the tent on the top of the tiki hut.
Right.
He was out on Tight Pants Point, and like he says, you know, it was a lot of fun in those days, and it was just all part of it, being in Florida and building this. And now it's his dream, it's his product of his accomplishment, and we're making little improvements now. And I'm learning a little bit on the way too. Finally earning my keep a little
Look how
bit.
nice the repair looks.
It looks beautiful. So Miss Jolene is bringing another one of this,
Little piece.
what's it called again?
Hardy board.
Hardy board, yeah, that we scored and broke. And then of course all of our deck boards will go in. And I put in all these
Hey,
screws.
look at this. Look what you just brought me.
Oh yeah. Like I said earlier,
Whiskey in it too?
we took a break from working this morning on one of the earlier clips, and we went and had lunch. Teddy says, well, I think it's time for a bowl of cereal. He likes a little bowl of cereal, you know. And then we had some of those hamburgers left over that we made last night. And I found them in the refrigerator. I was going to make one of those turkey tomato basil sandwiches. And I got out that Killer Dave bread and everything. And I thought, wait a minute. I could have ate a second one of those last night, but I'm trying to be good. So I just had one. So we had some left over. And I was showing Teddy that I had one. And after his cereal, he's like,
Me too.
me too. And she had the onion and the lettuce for him and some cheese. And so we had a nice lunch. And then we were like, oh, feeling kind of full. And she said, all right, you boys go take naps. So she put us to bed. And Ted went out there on the dock on that cool spot to lay down. And I went in my cramper there and laid down. Halfway slept, halfway didn't sleep. But I did feel rested. And now here we are back at it again, just enjoying ourselves, having a good time, learning along the way. He's on, what are you having, tea time, coffee time?
Recirculated coffee from this morning.
Oh, okay,
I
yeah.
just drink a little bit of it. It's just something, you know.
Yeah,
So.
super good.
Coffee.
So anyway, I hope you guys are enjoying the video as we continue to do this job for a couple more days, I'm sure. And eventually you'll see a nice finished product. All right, guys, we'll get back to you on the next clip.